How can we sense and measure temperatures? If we're going to understand anything about our environment or our planet, that's one thing we'd better get a handle on. When Mac started this study, he definitely got the message that he could sense temperatures blindfolded. But he also had the sneaking suspicion that this wasn't going to hack it when it came to being precise, and certainly not for taking measurements of the Earth's temperatures from space. To get a grip on taking temperatures, we'll look first at how we can measure temperatures where we can directly make contact. This means we can put our thermometers where we want to know the temperature. In our next study, we'll see how to move our thermometers far away, even into space, but let's keep our feet on the ground for the moment. Temperature sensing in the body. It turns out that the body has little sensors called thermoreceptors just under the surface of the skin. These are tiny nerves and they create little electrical signals or voltages which ultimately reach the brain. The warm receptors send more signals if they get warmer. Likewise, the cold receptors also send more signals to the brain if they lose heat. And the brain sorts it out. They do get tired over a minute or so, which means you kind of adjust to the cold water in the pool or to the hot shower, but that's the way things are. So the body is a great temperature meter for a quick check of the weather. Since it adjusts to the temperature, it isn't particularly useful for sorting out the actual temperatures of our environment or for keeping records. Accurate direct temperature measurement. If we want to get much more accurate measurements of the temperature for immediate and long-term uses, we use thermometers. Thermometers measure temperature by using materials that expand or contract when heated or cooled. If you look at the back of our owl thermometer, you can see the coil which coils or uncoils as the temperature changes, moving the pointer on the front. And here's a nifty homemade thermometer. If the sealed air in the bottle gets warmer, it expands, pushing the liquid down in the bottle and up the straw. You might want to try it. Not so accurate, but a good lesson. There are links for this and all the other sources for this study in the description. It's not hard to understand that we can extend our measurements of temperature to harder places to access, like in the oceans. Pretty sophisticated instruments are being placed and monitored all over the planet. And weather balloons can take direct measurements quite a ways up into the atmosphere. This particular one was taking up a bunch of student experiments where a total eclipse was about to happen. The point of this study was simply to keep us grounded. Temperature is something we know a lot about from direct experience. It is not mysterious, but it sure is important. We know it from our skin messages to the brain, but that information is not very useful for understanding the climate. For that we need accuracy in records. For scientific studies of things we can touch, like the air and water of our planet, we at least need thermometers. In the next study, we'll see how we can take these measurements from great distances. See you then.